We hear a lot about, as you mentioned, exhausting our resources on land, and that we're going to need the oceans for food and fresh water in the future. How far away in the future is that? Is that from a practical standpoint, will we be getting food from the oceans outside of fish?
Well, I think in terms of us in this generation worrying about the food supply or the water supply of the world being consumed, this is not really something that we need be concerned about. I think the immediate interest for sponsoring food from the sea, or mariculture as it's called, is twofold. One is, as I'm sure you know, John, many of the so-called backward or underdeveloped nations of the world could be greatly advanced, we think, if they could exploit the existing food from the oceans in waters contiguous to their shores. India, for example, fronts largely on oceans, and we know that fish could provide much of the nutrients that the Indian people badly need. So in this sense, that of advancing the standard of living of many of the backward countries of the world, this is an immediate opportunity, and one that rallies many of the countries of the world to sponsor research and development in this area. In terms of the United States requirements, it probably will be many decades before we're faced with serious food problems, but here hopefully some of the species of ocean life that can be developed and perhaps made more delectable by scientific R&D will provide entirely new edibles. Perhaps initially at first they'll be delicacies, but later they may be items of food that are generally consumed. In regard to water, it probably there also will be many decades in general before we're seriously in jeopardy of consuming our existing water supplies, though as we all know there are many areas where this already is a serious problem. The city of Los Angeles, for example, transports fresh water many hundreds of miles at great expense to serve its expanding population, and there are serious analyses underway to determine the feasibility of installing a nuclear-powered water desalting plant quite close to the city to take care of this need. An actual example.
Mr. Mern, you talked quite a bit tonight about exploring the sea and underwater exploration. At the risk of sounding naive, why do we bother with this sort of thing?
The forward-looking theme of your Chamber of Commerce session this evening sort of sets the stage for what our company hopefully is involved in. That is a forward-looking investment in exploring a entirely new environment, not new in the sense that its existence isn't old, for the oceans have always been with us, as you know, but really new in the sense that we are quite ignorant, almost totally ignorant, of what really is beneath the surface of the ocean and what it takes to allow man safely and efficiently visit there and perhaps someday live there. Our motivation as an industrial company, of course, is to hopefully develop the capabilities that will allow us to exploit what we think will be a large, profitable new business opportunity